You think that what we're fighting about is stupid. Just cause you don't agree don't mean it's stupid. Lately communication feels so useless.
Savage.
If we don't got that obsessive love, then what we doing? I don't ask for much from you. It's like you don't got the time to lose. Made me feel like I'm a burden when I tell you how I'm hurting. No, you just say you're sorry to say you did. I ain't over it.
Grand Rising, everybody. It's me, your Uncle 79, the Spiritual Savage, here to bring you a message. It's currently 8:51 a.m. on November 6, 2024. It is 35 degrees Fahrenheit and cloudy, foggy here. All right. First, I'd like to say, always give some gratitude, show some gratitude, and be grateful for the Most High, for waking us up, for bringing us here, for allowing us to really see the beauty and the purpose in life, what this is really all about. Okay? So I'm grateful. And I'm going to tell you that there are times that I feel. I just heard betrothed. Betrothed. What does that mean? I just heard betrothed. Let's see what the definition of that is. But in the meantime here, I betrothed. Engaged to be married. Okay. All right. Betrothed. All right. There are times that I feel betrothed to hardships, because that's exactly what I was going to say. Hardships in life. And just so utterly connected to hardships and upheavals. But that's a part of my journey for now. We can always get a divorce. Disconnect ourselves from the hardships, the upheavals, the trials and tribulations. It's really all about a test of faith. And surrendering whatever connections we have, the need to control situations, surrendering that to the divine, and allowing the divine to do what divine does, which is to be divine, to work divinity, to work magic, to work the impossible, or just to work through us, work through other people, to get us through those times. It's very important to realize that. And my experience is that I have not only made it this far throughout the tribulations, trials, hardships, upheavals in life without a higher source or a higher power. I was thinking about yesterday, and I was gone yesterday because 8:55 a.m. As you all know, I deal with I'm dealing with something very, very heavy. And, without going too much into a lot of different things, because I've been advised not to, although I want to, I'm not doing that. I'm being obedient. But what I realized is that, yesterday it kind of hit me like, damn, I have absolutely no control over anything except myself. And there was a moment where I realized there was a great deal of sadness and grief came over me. And it was hard to not. It was hard. You know what I'm saying? But then I realized, why be sad? Why have sadness, and why have grief? Because all you have control over is yourself. That's all I need to have control over. That's all I need to be able to transform, to control, to just be. Sometimes we just have to just be ourselves, to be an honest, righteous person, to be somebody who has a voice and uses it, to be somebody who sees the fallacies and things that are that appear to be perfect, whether that be within the justice system, whether that be in our communities, our families, our relationships with other people, where we work. We just have to continue to be those people, because that's what the divine really needs us to do. The divine works through us. Truly. If you want to look at this thing we call life a big game, if you want to look at it as a simulation, well, look at it like that. A simulation, but the simulation's not just here to simulate things. It's an experiment. It's a series of tests. You put a bunch of people in a controlled environment. Yeah, a bunch of people in a controlled environment under specific circumstances to see what happens. Yes, the divine is in control, but we also all have free will. So do other people, and our actions based upon that gift of free will that we have are being judged. That's what this is about. And so we have to accept that. That's just my opinion. That's just been my experience. We have to accept the fact that we are all here to play a very particular position or character or role in this thing called life. If you believe in God, if you believe in the divine, if you believe in archangels, if you believe in ancestors, if you believe in a spiritual realm, then you must know that we are all here being observed to see what people are going to do. Because we are in a time of judgment. I believe that. I believe that we are in a time of judgment. I believe that judgment is heavily upon us all. It's a lot of us that don't really realize that or don't take it that seriously. And so a lot of us here are those that were chosen, selected. I even just heard selected to be a part of that judgment for ourselves and other people. We're not here to judge others, but we are being used so that people can face judgment. And that can be us, and that can be other people. But if you are on the receiving end of trials and tribulations, you are being gang stalked. You are being abused in the justice system. You are being abused in your life by people in your families or relationships. If you are somebody who is experiencing when you have been the recipient of unfair judgment, unjust judgment, and judgment from people who don't have the right to do it, their actions are being judged. That's what I believe. And so I just had to remind myself of that, The unfair judgment, the harsh treatment, the trials and tribulations that are orchestrated, that are set up, the endings that the enemy or these adversaries on this planet have crafted, have already come up with. They feel like they are in control of who you are, who I am. They feel like they can control our lives. That's what I'm hearing. It's about them controlling our lives, placing judgment on us. Through situations and events that are based upon fallacy, of false rhetoric, false narrative, false charges. You feel me? All based upon fallacies. And for a while, the world has been able to do that. It happens every day to people. And really what it comes down to is that a lot of these people that participate in these orchestrated events in our lives, it all comes down to people having something to gain from it. There's always a gain. So we're talking about greedy people, people that are in it for the money, people that are in it to take your place or get you out of the way, people that are in it to advance their careers, people that are in it to cover up a lot of different things that you have brought attention to, or your energy exposes it. A lot of us, they thought we were stupid, and maybe for a while we were. A lot of us were blind to the things that were going on behind our backs and right in front of our faces. A lot of us put our trust in the wrong people. We didn't think that people would do certain things. We didn't believe that we would be a part of the things that we witnessed them doing to other people, but we were wrong. And so now a lot of what we are dealing with is based upon our free will to still be involved with people whom we knew were evil and no good for us, but we thought we could change them, and they or help them change. Change them, help them change. We thought we could lead them towards the light, that we can lead them towards some type of better life, or just a better understanding of that love isn't more important than anything else in this world. And people have exploited that. At least in my life, they've exploited that, and they've utilized it to try to destroy me based upon greed, jealousy, envy, and self-hatred. For sacrifice. So, we're here now. And we have to surrender it to the divine. I have to surrender it to the divine. I have to just continue to work on myself, to heal myself, to heal through this, and to just be obedient, do my spiritual practices, strengthen my connection with the divine, and move forward with the faith and the belief that the divine got this. So if you're out there this morning and you're struggling with anything I've described, and you know that you are in a situation right now where all you can do is surrender and continue to keep working on you, I would advise you to do that. That's just what I'm suggesting this morning, okay? You feel me? Oh, I caught 9:04 on the clock. That's Jacksonville, Florida. All right, 1 second. All right, so we are back here again today. It is currently 9:04. Again, like I said, on November 6, 2024, the day after Election Day. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I would like to just tell everybody that although, okay, when you got up this morning, did you thank God for being alive? Did you tell God you loved him? Or did you get up bitching and moaning about this election? And I'm gonna tell you, if you got up bitching and moaning about this election, then you're already done. It's a done deal for you, okay? You put your faith in the wrong thing. I have been emphatically telling people to go out there and vote because it is your right. And ultimately what it comes down to is that you had to vote for. You were hopeful that the candidate that best supported your needs and vision, you supported their vision, that because hopefully their vision supported your needs, would get into office. Now here we are. Okay, to be honest with you, I didn't say it out loud, but I knew Donald Trump was going to win. And I'm going to tell you why. Because first and foremost, he's a man. Okay, we are not in a place in this country where women have the opportunity to be running it. Not as the chief executive officer. We're just not yet. And so that was really kind of that was a very bold and what's the word I'm looking for here? A very bold and I can't remember, it's on the tip of my tongue. But it's a very bold move. It was a very huge aspiration for this country. We live in a patriarchal society that still is very much in control of a lot of things that have happened in this country and still happen in this country. They just weren't going to let it happen. That's man's worst fear on this planet, really, but in this country, is to have a woman as the president of the free world. It doesn't happen. Okay? And it's not going to happen until the construct of this patriarchal society has completely been broken down. And it's not going to be broken down by getting a woman into office. It's just not. Okay? But I knew that he was going to win. I just knew it. Because the kind of changes that are required to make this country what it should be requires man to take a seat. It requires the tradition of man running this country to take a seat, and we're just not there yet. We're not there yet. And and to be quite honest with you, who's to say that she was the woman that should really be running this country? She was just the lesser of the two evils for a lot of us. Truly. And so here we are. So what do we do now? Well, I'm going to continue to live. Okay? We have to live. I have to live in this world. Under whatever circumstances there are. That's what we have to do. We have to figure it out. Welcome Project 2025. Yeah, I believe that the Senate. Yep, everything is red. Everything is red. President, the U.S. Senate, and the House. So welcome Project 2025. A lot of what I feel like happens during these elections, or especially during this one, they didn't, the Republicans that really now see that they made a mistake waited too late. People waited too late to come out and say certain things. It does make it seem like people are just coming out of their ass talking bullshit about Donald Trump at the very last minute, wanted to tell who he really is and what he really stands for. Well, it was too late, too little, too late. And they really should have, in the Democratic Party, should have really chosen another political candidate. That's the way I feel about it. All right. But of course, there are going to be a lot of people out here today that are angry as hell. But he won fair and square. He won fair and square, as far as the voting is concerned. Well, and that's what it all comes down to now, doesn't it? So now we're going to see what happens. I read somebody, I can't remember where I read it at, but somebody said Babylon had to be built in order for it to be destroyed, to be broken down. Yeah, well, yeah, I agree with that. We are all, again, this is a controlled simulation, but it's based a lot of what happens in this world outside of what the divine orchestrates is brought upon by our free will to make decisions and choices in this world. We don't have the luxury anymore of making choices and not dealing with the consequences of it, because we are all being judged. The United States has spoken. Those who chose to vote anyways or chose not to have spoken. People truly and honestly did not want Kamala Harris as the president of the United States. They really didn't. If they really did, she would have won. And so now, like I said, people, a lot of this election came down to, not really focusing on the issues that really, really, really are important to people. They really didn't. I like I said, when I was talking about, when I was watching, the people address the nation, or, the speeches at the rallies, neither one of the candidates were really talking about things that really interest me. The whole idea that we can continue to keep talking about having a debate about female reproductive rights, yet we're still not willing to do anything to protect children in this country, or women, is very kind of insane to me. You know, it's insane. We're still dealing with, well, and really, to be honest with you, watch what happens to how people who are non-white are going to be treated. Okay, people of color in this country, all hues of brown, are going to be treated a lot different moving forward in this country. That's what I believe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There wasn't enough discussions about that because it is still very much alive. Look at the map. Look at the map and look and see how this is all going to go. This is very devastating for people in this country. It just is. A lot of us. Yep. But see, this is what it comes down to. If you can't tell, the government, in a sense, is, although economically could be doing better for some people, as far as the growth, and this is just my opinion, as far as the growth for civil rights and equal opportunities for people in this country, it has actually started to regress. So we're moving backwards in a sense, in a lot of ways, and that is part of their plan. Because what happens when you get a minority group of people who start to become stronger, come together and stand up for themselves to make certain changes in this world? It appears to be an overthrowing of a system that has served a very particular demographic of people for such a very long time. You then become the threat. We are the threats. You're the threat. No matter if you're a Republican, no matter if you're a Democrat, but if you are somebody who is a minority in this country, a minority, I say, if you are somebody that is part of an underserved demographic of people, a marginalized demographic of people, people who are no longer willing to go with the norm in society. You're not willing to, you're uncomfortable with the way things are in this world, in your communities, in your country, in your state, in your city. If you are one of those people and you are now wanting to vocalize that and do something about that, well, then guess what? You are seen as a threat, which is why a lot of us, again, that either were chosen or selected to come here for these missions to see how this whole experiment, this whole simulation can change. You are now a threat. They've seen it coming. And so you have to learn to live. You've got to learn to live and still be on mission. You will receive attacks. You will receive unfair treatment. Things will seem very imbalanced for you. You may feel like you have your back against the wall all the time, but that is a part of the test. That's a part of this mission. And so now we got to see what happens here. It's a lot of what is about to happen. Again, you know, am I seeing a dystopian society where there's going to be war and violence everywhere in the street? No, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing that a lot of things are about to change, and it's going to affect a lot of us in ways that are unimaginable. And it's going to affect a lot of people that actually voted for Trump in a lot of different ways that they don't even see coming. A lot of people are on both sides of the fence are going to be affected. It's going to negatively impact the way of life that we live for a lot of people, and they don't even realize it. I don't even think we truly realize the severity of it. And so now what do? We have to figure it out. Okay? That's how I feel about it. I'm not devastated by this. I am not, am I disappointed? I expected it. I did expect it. People, I feel like what politics is showing everybody is that people need to stop pandering to people and really kind of get to work and make some serious changes in this world. We still got kids walking around with pew-pews blasting people at events. We still got kids that are being kidnapped and trafficked. We still have men and women that are still being kidnapped and trafficked. We still got all these people standing outside smoking those pills or smoking crack right downtown or right next to there's a place up here where there's an elementary school. Then there's the park for the elementary school, and then right there's like right in the corner connected to the park is like a an atrium or like I don't know what to call it, but there's statues and benches there, and right there is where people go gather every single day to go there, sell drugs, get high, fight. Police are always there, right next to an elementary school. These are and these are the things that really should. That should not be happening, but it's happening. What about that kind of shit? Do you see what I'm saying? The problem is so, I just heard systemic, but it's kind of like seeing a big what this whole kind of thing I'm seeing every day with politics and in the political arena, with how the world, what it looks like. To me, is this what's in my head, is that there's imagine picturing there's a huge mansion, and it's very beautiful, and you always see people outside working on it, improving upon it on the outside, and then when you go in there, it's total chaos. It's nasty inside. It's not clean. It's disgusting and dirty. That's what this country is like. That's what this country is like. And when they say it's dirty and filthy inside, what I'm talking about that's the way that it's being ran. Or if you want to look at it like this, you see a huge mansion. You got the West Wing and the East Wing. The East Wing is where all the people that own that are in control of what it looks like on the outside, that are in control of what comes into the mansion, are all there. They're all living on their side of the wing. They're all living very well. And on the west side of the wing, everybody else is struggling, and it's poor. It's not clean. There's not any type of there's no benefit of living inside of this mansion outside of saying that we live inside of a nice mansion. But everybody else that lives inside of this nice mansion has all the opportunities of financial advancement, educational advancement. They have the protection. They have the influence and the power. And then on the other side of that, it's just everybody else. That's what this is all about. And that's what people really need to understand. This is something that is so. It's gonna take a lot to fix it from the inside out, is what I'm getting at. And having a female, I don't know why. I don't know why they keep trying to push this on America. It's just not gonna. We're not ready for that yet. We don't even live in a world where a woman has the right to choose what she wants to do with her body. Let alone why would anybody even think that a female president could even still get elected at this point in time? We're still arguing over reproductive rights for a woman, and it should really be her choice. You know what I'm saying? What she chooses to do, everybody got to deal with their consequences, right? Whether you agree with abortion or not. But the fact is that we're still living in a country where where we have to go before a Supreme Court, a group of people, so that a woman can say to decide what a woman can do with her body. We're allowing government to figure that out. What makes anybody think that a female president was going to get elected? I have no idea. Like I said, I voted for who supported, that was their vision would support some of what I feel like I need in my life. Okay, and what I feel like a lot of us could benefit from, but it just wasn't going to happen, and we got to get over it. I'm already over it. I don't care, because at the end of the day, no matter who runs this country, God is the one that runs my life. The Most High, the Divine, is the reason why I'm here. These political candidates, no. Politics are very important in this country, but it's really what it is that when we really kind of can sit down and really take a look at who is keeping us stuck in this world, who's keeping our progress stalled and stagnated. You really think it's the president? No, it's like I said last week. It's the people that work under the president. It's the people actually in the U.S. Senate, the House of Representatives. That's where it really kind of starts. And see why they got everybody. You see, this is and it's so slick on the Democratic side and the Republican side. They know who to put. It's a distraction. They got presidents and presidential candidates fighting and arguing with each other, and all the while, you see what they're doing. It's really about who's going to control the Senate and who's going to control the House. The president, it doesn't matter. If the president, Kamala Harris could have won as president yesterday, but if the House of the U.S. Senate and the House of Representatives was all red, it wouldn't have mattered. It damn wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. They knew what they were doing. They didn't. Their whole point was to take control of the U.S. Senate and the House of Representatives. Yeah, and now they got somebody ignorant enough to push their agendas. Like I told you before, his first plan of action. First of all, he's gonna make sure his ass doesn't go to prison. Wouldn't you? See, that's the other thing that people aren't really kind of looking at. Wouldn't you do it too? If you had the power to stop yourself from going to prison, wouldn't you do it? Yeah, you can say I wouldn't be looking at going to prison. But if you were a criminal, yes, you would. If you were a criminal with the executive power to stop yourself from going to prison, wouldn't you do it? Yes, you would. And if you were somebody who was a criminal or with a criminal mind who lacks a huge sense of accountability and doesn't know what honesty is, and is pissed off that people called you out on that, and you had an opportunity to flex your muscle and get revenge on those people that came after you, wouldn't you do it if you had that criminally insane mind or without a lack of accountability? You damn straight you would. And hell, a lot of y'all out there wouldn't even have to be criminally insane. A lot of y'all are just petty as hell. So yes, of course you would. See, there's a level of honesty that we all need to have about what's really going on here and about why this is happening. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to ask you is how did any of this, whether it went one way or the other, was it going to make it any better for you today or tomorrow with the shit that you got to deal with? I'm telling you now, the shit I'm dealing with, fuck no, neither one of these motherfuckers is going to help me out. Okay? The divine is who is in charge. Judgment is being called. I have settled on the idea that no matter what, because I got to be realistic about the fact that I am here on a mission, on an assignment, and for a purpose. And a lot of these hardships and shit that I've been going through, because I sat around and I thought about it yesterday, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about how I would like to articulate it or put it out there as so people so that it can be spoken about in a way that inspires other people to see the other side of what's happening here. But I'm gonna tell you right now, overall, I feel like I'm a pretty good guy. I'm an honest person. I'm a good guy. I have a lot of love in my heart. I want to see everybody succeed and everybody grow. The things that have happened to me, okay, and I'm not being a victim because I'm seeing a lot of that lately. People just being victims and crybabies and shit. Stop being that. It's not gonna help you. And really, at the end of the day, a lot of people are just being victims and crybabies because they're looking for somebody to come along and save them or to give them things. It's just not going to happen, okay? Some people might be ignorant and stupid enough to play into that shit, but what's the point of giving a victim something or providing for a victim or giving a victim support if they're not looking to come out of victim mentality? They're only being a victim so that they can continue to garner support, garner gifts, and so that you can fight the battle for them. Okay, that's just what I'm telling you. What I can really honestly say is that I see people, a lot of people lately sitting around bitching and moaning and complaining about how the world's kicking their ass, they're being unfairly treated, blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. Okay, I am being unfairly treated, and I have been, and I'm not bitching and moaning and crying about it either. I'm trying to figure out ways what I can do, how I can work with the divine to change that for me and be an example for other people. By the way, okay. Negative ass bullshit out of here. But people are being judged. Systems are being judged. Companies are being judged. Families and friends are being judged. Lovers are being judged when it comes to good people in this world. Not just in this country, but on this planet. Why in the world, does anybody else think it's okay to keep fucking over and really trying to destroy good people because somebody else is greedy, or because you're the best scapegoat because you're naive and you don't see what's going on because you're not awakened because you don't know what we don't really look at people because we're not evil. We don't vibrate on the evil level. So when we are coming in contact with evil motherfuckers, we don't immediately see that. We don't grasp the concept because in our minds it's all unicorn shit and rainbows. But we go through these things so that we can wake up and see what the world is really like. These people that we around, what they're really like. So now we can see it. And through these experiences, after seeing these evil ass people, okay, we can use these experiences to try to change it for other people. so that we can better maneuver and defeat the enemy on that level, not on their level, but that level with more awareness and more knowledge. You feel me? If you're going to be sick and tired, do something. Find a good way to speak up. Find a good way to help people. Because the things that are going on in this world, as far as this unfair treatment, this corrupt system with these corrupt companies, corrupt institutions, corrupt communities, people that are the people that we put in places of power to uphold a sense of honesty, loyalty, respect, dignity. To uphold these laws and policies that are supposed to protect us, so that we all have a fair chance to live on this motherfucker. They don't do it. And since we can't depend on them to do it anymore, then who are we going to wait for? We're going to wait for Jesus to come back? No. What do you think we're here for? And the problem is that we've all been sitting around waiting on things to happen that aren't going to happen. Because we're the happenings. We are the happenings. We are the happen. Social media, AI, artificial intelligence, movies, music, entertainment industry, these celebrities, these are all have been distractions to keep everybody asleep. People don't know how to fight for themselves anymore because people don't even see what needs to change because everybody's so involved in things that don't even fucking matter. And again, I've said it before, while everybody's being distracted, the enemy is still working. The enemy is still working. And those of us that realize what's going on, when we start talking about it, when we start, reversing the process of what the enemy has started, it pisses off the enemy and then they hit us harder. They want to make it virtually impossible for people to change what they've already set in motion. Because if we change what's already been set in motion, it's not just one domino that falls, it's a bunch of them. And Godspeed to them. So we gotta start looking at things like that. The presidential election is over. Now we gotta move on with life, okay? We gotta pick up where if you put anything down waiting on one of these motherfuckers to get in the office to change shit. A lot of what happened is that people just wanted to say, ha, we won, you guys gotta sit down now. Grow up. These are people that can afford to do that kind of shit. They're not in the situations that we are in. Because remember, the things that we are going through right now in these moments are still considered conspiracy theories. They're not really happening. Right? I'm gonna get an outer war card out here, and then that's it. Okay? Because I'm not. I don't want to pull on any collective energy. The collective energy is everything I just said. That's the message I got from the divine today. So we're gonna keep allowing these institutions and these institutions in this world and in this country to keep being a distraction from us doing what we gotta do. Where then we're truly fucked. Okay. It takes more than one man or one person or one woman in this world, in this country or this world, to either make changes or to keep shit going. It takes more than one person. It's a whole system. It's a whole operation. And I wish people would really kind of look at things like that. It's systemic. We got motherfuckers damn near 100 years old still walking around as a U.S. senator or a House of Representatives or the Speaker of the House damn near 100 years old. What the fuck do we think is going to happen? It's systemic. Thus it may be known that the leader of the armies is the arbiter of the people's fate. the man on whom it depends whether the nation shall be in peace or in peril. Learn to tell good advice from bad. Advice is freely available to us every day, all day. How you deal with it all is on you and no one else. The key decisions are yours to make. In order to withstand the ups and downs of life, it is essential that you, okay, learn how to tell good advice from bad advice in order to find peace instead of peril. And I'd like to amend that and say it's up to us, it's up to you to learn to determine good people from bad people. Okay? Good choices from bad choices. Good ideas from bad ideas. Good opportunities from bad opportunities. All right? I'm going to just close it out here. I am your Uncle 79, the Spiritual Savage. Remember, you grow, I grow, I grow, you grow, we grow together. It's always love and light around this bitch. It's always take it easy. I love you to the moon and back. Deuces.